is Thomas Ryan, and thanks for checking out the Average Joe Comics series.
Trouble sound. Trouble
Average Joe is a one-of-a-kind story that follows Max Buchanan, an average guy living in a superhero society. After an unfortunate run-in with the number one hero, the Shield, Max decides to take the hero work into his own hands and get in on some good old vigilante justice. This campaign will accomplish two things. The first thing that it'll accomplish is it'll allow me to get the full color physical copies of Average Joe number one rolled out to all my backers and my supporters that I love so much. The second thing that it'll get accomplished is that it'll allow me to get Average Joe number two into production, the lettering, the penciling, and the colors. So thanks for all your love. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for checking me out. And if you haven't got your free download of Average Joe number one, please get that real soon. Have a good one, guys. Hey, how's it going?
That always happens to me.
It replays.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
We got Thomas, the creator of Average Joe, with us tonight on the Creators Outlet. Thomas, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So tell us how you got into comic books.
You know, it's weird, right? Because I woke up one day and I'm like, I want to make a comic book. Well, actually, I didn't wake up and say I wanted to make a comic book. I wanted to do animation. And I found out the animation was extremely hard. And then I started looking deeper into like what is required with animation. You have to have a story first. You got to have storyboarding, and it's a long process and it's extremely expensive. So I'm like, man, this is it's not something I could just pick up and do. I've been writing all my life, but it's not something I could just pick up and do. You know, I can't just do animation. So I found the medium of comics as a balance in between where I could still get the story out and do it in kind of a similar affordable way, kind of, because it's still kind of expensive to do it. And that's really how I really got into the comic writing and creating gig.
And you've been doing a lot of writing
man.
Prior to the comics?
Yeah, man. I've been writing since I was a kid, man. I've been that's English is my favorite subject, obviously. But writing creatively is something I've been doing since I was in grade school. Well, I first it was like, you know, writing stories and poems. Then I wrote music. Then I started screenwriting, and then eventually I was like, man, I want to make some of this stuff real. I wanted to animate something, but then, like I said, animation is that's a whole nother beast, right? So it's not something that you could just be like, all right, I'm gonna animate this thing tomorrow and throw a couple dollars at it. And then I got into the comic, and I kind of fell in love with it because it's a different form. It's a different way of telling stories. Like you can tell a story in a screenplay one way, but when you're dealing with a comic, like every single panel matters. Like you got to get the most important moments, and it actually made my screenwriting better too. So, yeah, and it's been like that for a while.
And the best way to set up a comic is actually storyboarding it.
Yep. Very true.
That's what Ryland Grant told us. He came from Hollywood, from screenwriting for major names and film companies to making band jacks, and now his new Kickstarter that you know, of course, was funded in like, you know, the first few hours. Jump because as he said, how Hollywood wants developed IPs, and the easiest way to do that is to just for them to swoop in and buy a successful comic or something that they like that they think they can do something with. And there's like a dozen streaming services out there, plus, networks and movie houses that want to do stuff. So yeah, you can never tell.
Well, you can't tell, man. It's definitely not easy though. So I mean, I give
Oh,
credit
no.
to anybody that creates and launches on Kickstarter, because just getting to that point of launching on Kickstarter is just like a task in itself. It's so much that goes into creating a comic. Like it's more so than writing a script.
Yeah, that's the easy part.
Yeah, seriously, it really is. I had to learn some patience, man, because the artist on this is T, and he's a dude out in Vietnam. And I'm thinking, man, you're an artist. Just draw the pages. You just draw the pages. It'll take a couple of days. Nah, man, but it's a real. If you want it done right, it's definitely time consuming. It requires a lot of patience, and yeah, man, you'll see the fruits of your labors if you do that way. So
Definitely. Now, is this your first series?
this is my first series. Not the first series written, but my first series that I'm kickstarting.
Your first series is your Kickstarting, but
So-
you've written other comics in the past.
Yes, I've written a few. None that I've taken to the level of like launching and wanting to self-publish, but I got a lot of ideas in the work. A lot of collaborations with other indie artists, and yeah, man, I got a lot of stuff. And it's like I want to place that first brick perfectly and get that one right, get this one right, and then move on to the next. I don't know. I have this thing about finishing things, and I definitely want to finish the series for sure.
Oh yeah, I know. I have a thing about finishing bagging and boarding my comic book collection.
Coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. Coming soon. Coming soon to a loft near me.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it just the whole industry is crazy, because when I was your age, everybody had to solicit if they were an indie comic maker, they'd have to solicit their book
To the big guys.
through the evil Diamond Corporation,
Oh,
and
man.
and they would have to
Submit pages.
they'd have to submit pages, work. They would have to have like a working model in front of them to show, and then they would have to be able to get over 3,000 pre-orders to even have consideration of being in previews.
Rough times, man. Thank God for the internet, because
Yep.
yeah, it's like crossing your fingers back in the day, man.
And now there's so many outlets to go through. There's so many small press companies now that you don't even have to be signed with them, but you can use their print on demand service.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities, man. You can get it done. It still requires work. I think probably even more so doing it yourself. I know if you had to take the chance with the Diamond Company back in the day, at least they would take over things if they picked you up, wouldn't they?
No.
Oh, so you still have okay, so yeah, it still works.
You still had to do everything, but they would distribute. So of course you'd have to pay them for distribution.
Oh, okay.
But you'd get your book out to like a mass market and hope that everybody liked it enough to actually order number 2s.
Get them eyes, yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. Definitely
A different time, man.
Oh yeah.
I think now is a time where I think it's so easy. Well, it seems so easy that everybody does it.
I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's doable now.
Yeah. Like it seems so easy. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy, but it seems like it, because you see the Kickstarter, you see the end, you're like, oh, I could do that, but you don't know. Planning a Kickstarter, it's just a lot of.
Oh yeah, you got to come up with a 6-month plan for Kickstarter, and
yeah.
Oh, I can't come up with a 6-month plan for breakfast.
You're like you just.
I'm like, geez,
cringing at that, man.
Oh, yeah. That's awful.
But once you get it done, it's rewarding, though.
Oh yeah, we've talked to. This is the 22nd episode of this show. Congrats. So, thank you. I've talked to quite a few people, and a couple nights ago, last week I had so many people that wanted to come on the show from one of the indie groups.
I've seen that post, yeah.
Yeah, that I did that episode called Off the Rails, and I just invited everybody that wanted to come on.
Yeah, I seen that post. It was crazy. Everybody wanted to get on. I was like, oh, okay, so this is what it is. But I'm like, let me jump in there too, man. Clearly, this William guy is doing big things. So let me jump up in here too, man.
We had like 325 views while the show was live.
Nice, very nice.
So I'm like, I felt important.
Rightfully so, man.
It was just everybody was having a good time, and that's what it's all about, you know.
At the end of the day, yeah, man, you gotta have fun with it. Ain't having fun with it, I'm done with it, man.
Oh yeah. Now, growing up, did you read and collect comics when you were growing up?
No, actually, I didn't, man. I was born in the late 80s, so the 90s is when, like, I guess the adaptation started. So, I grew up on the X-Men, not comics, but the X-Men cartoons. Not the Spider-Man comic, but the Spider-Man series. Not the Batman comic, but the Batman series. So that's the type of stuff that I grew up on, watching those shows, Ninja Turtles, even the adaptations like Lois and Clark. I don't know if you remember that, but I used to even watch
yeah.
Yeah, so not so much comics, but all the heroes, they came to me through that type of medium. Even Star Wars I picked up late, because if you think about it, Star Wars came out when, like 77 or something like that.
77.
Yeah, so I was
there, but I'm old.
It was 20 years old by the time I was 10, so I was like, that's an old movie, man. I can't get with no Star Wars, But yeah, man, I picked it up later, especially with the Mandalorian, as you can see, Baby Yoda in the back over there.
Oh yeah.
So but yeah, man, I grew up on all the series, man. All the comic book adaptation series.
That's all still good stuff. Matter of fact, I picked up the original omnibus for the original X-Men Age of Apocalypse story.
Dope.
And
that's worth a lot.
Some of the original issues might be. I'm not sure. But I grabbed this omnibus off of somebody on Facebook Marketplace for $20.
Oh wow!
It's
so
like
you got to steal pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I looked on eBay and I saw ones, if they were sealed, going for $150, $200.
Wow. Okay, so you came up, man.
So I came up good, and I had the 90s X-Men cartoon playing on the TV while I was reading issues of Age of Apocalypse. So
nice.
So yeah, we watched all that stuff. I mean, I was working in my LCS. I found my LCS when I was 15. I had never seen a comic book store beforehand. Mm-hmm. So I was ecstatic.
Nice.
Until the owner realized I was bunk at school to go hang out at the comic shop. He's like, "You can't come in here till after 3:30. Go away."
Those were the days. See, I never got to experience that comic shop experience, to go in the comic shop and wait for issues and ask the owner, like, "Hey, when is this coming out? You got this? You got that?" I think that was a cool time for comics for sure.
Oh yeah, and we used to even if we weren't working, we'd go and hang out at the shop on Saturday morning so we could watch all the new episodes of when Batman the Animated Series was just coming on, and we'd watch that, and we'd watch the new X-Men cartoon, and whatever else was up and coming in the day, So it was.
Right. It's a family kind of thing. It's like, that's why I understand, like, some collectors, they have a deep emotional collection, because it's not just like a book, but it's like a part of your life. It was a lifestyle almost.
Oh yeah,
going to the comic shop and collecting. So
it's
I totally get it.
It's huge memories.
Mm-hmm.
There's a completely different feel and experience you have when you have a local comic shop and you can go in and you're basically hanging out with other like-minded people.
Club, man. Yeah. You remember the name of the shop?
Yeah, Wild Time Comics. I still go there.
There you go.
It's moved twice since I found it at 15, but I still go there. And one of my best friends is the owner of the place now. Used to be the manager.
Nice.
I once I got I was without a phone for a week, so I was and
disconnected from the world.
Yeah, my first phone call was like, because I just have them ship the books to me because of everything going on. It's just easier.
Yeah, definitely.
So I waited a week and no comics.
Oh man.
So I finally got my phone back. I'm like, he's like, hey. I go, hey.
What's up?
He's like, oh damn, I forgot to send you stuff. I'm like,
you didn't have to say it.
I go, good thing I'm crippled. I'll bust you upside your head. But
Crazy.
yeah, it's a definite experience, and there's like lots of people that they get together and they become lifelong friends.
Yeah.
And I've got that.
It's a bond, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, let's dive into Average Joe, because
yeah, definitely.
We got somebody asking questions already. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, what is Average Joe about? Good question, Tyreek. Well, Average Joe follows this guy here, Max Buchanan. Man, he's an average guy living in a superhero society. He gets put on an assignment to work with like the number one hero in the city, Frost City, and turns out, long story short, he comes to find out that the number one hero, General Justice, is a piece of crap. He's not everything that everybody praises him for, and a situation happens to him, and it's heartbreaking. And he decides, you know what? I don't need heroes no more. I'm gonna be Average Joe, and I'm gonna go handle this hero thing myself. And we follow Max as he navigates the world of heroes and trying to do his thing and trying to find his place in that world. And that's what that's about in a nutshell.
And his follow-up, what was the inspiration behind the comic?
Well, I'm a big fan of The Boys, right? That was one of the biggest inspirations I had for it. The Boys series, I can't wait for season 2, but the Boys series was it was amazing to me. Not just because of like the effects and the acting, but because of the take that they took on that show, where they showed us the same stuff we see all the time. We see superheroes flying around for how long now? For decades now, with Marvel and DC making movies. But they took it and they showed it from a different perspective, humanizing the heroes and showing them in their day-to-day lives and creating experiences that way. And they took an old thing and they flipped it around and made a new way. And I was like, man, I love that. And Average Joe was kind of like, I sat there and I was like, man, I wish I wrote that. Like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, man, I wish I wrote this. And I was like, all right, well, Average Joe is if I was to write The Boys or something similar. And it's my take on it and my spin on it. So that's where the inspiration came from.
Good question, Tyreek.
Great question.
And how long did it take you to finish writing the first issue?
The first issue, honestly and truthfully, I wrote the first issue in maybe like a week. It was one of those things where I was driving. I was still doing my screenwriting thing, and I was driving. I was listening to a podcast about screenwriting, and then they said the same thing, like, show the viewer a different world. And I was like, you know what would be dope if I did that? Like, I took the Average Joe. I'm like, that would be a crazy idea. Then I turned around and went home. I forgot where I was going. It didn't matter. I went home. I was like, no, I got to write this thing. And then I started writing it because I didn't want to lose it. And in about a week, it kept flowing and flowing and flowing. Of course, the story changed as, I started editing and stuff like that. But about a week to get the whole series written, like, this is what this is going to be. And, yeah.
And how many issues do you want this to go?
Initially, I wanted it to go 10. It may go more now. The inspiration is still rolling with me, so it may go more than 10, but I wanted to go 10. I initially wanted to go 10.
So you're still writing more of this and plotting it out for issues down the road, just trying to get the ball rolling with this one.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's really what I'm doing. I honestly wrote about 10 or 11 of them already, but like I go back and I change stuff because it evolves. Stories evolve, the characters evolve if you really get into storytelling. So
the more you look at it, the more you're like, no, and go back and
yeah. It's like Max wouldn't do that. He would actually do this. So now I got to change this whole part because that's who this character is. It's not like, so it changes. But I wrote
Yeah.
a lot.
Now, what were some of your bigger inspirations in writing?
That's great. In writing, I can't really say I had any. I used to read a lot of Tom Clancy books. So he was definitely one of my big inspiration. I read a lot of Tom Clancy books. Probably why I joined the military too, because Tom Clancy he's just elite at writing those type of stories. I would say that he's one of the bigger ones. Stephen King, I got into him after his movies. I started going back to the books because everybody says the book is so much better. And Stephen
Especially
King,
with his movies, yeah.
yeah.
Because
Stephen,
you can't put all that twisted stuff into a movie and expect it to come out
right,
right.
right, and the books were way better. But actually reading Stephen King made me dive more into Stephen King, and it really helped me with my storytelling. Stephen King, he made it so simple. I forgot what interview it was, but he was like, writing is difficult, but really, if you just think about it, it's about what happens next. This happens, then this happens, then this happens, and it really helped me like really formulate stories a lot better and visualize it. So I literally when I write a story, I write it in prose. I'm like, Max does this, and then he goes do that, and then he does this, and then he does that, and then he does like everything. So I got like 70, 80 pages of writing, and then I break it down and then make it happen. But Stephen King, Tom Clancy, yes sir.
Now, are you a fan of Stephen King's son, Joe Hill?
I am not. I don't think
You do not like Joe Hill.
honestly, I don't think I even dove into any Joe Hill stuff, to be honest with you.
He wrote Lock and Key.
Oh, okay. I take that back. Okay, yeah, Joe Hill's. Oh, okay, yeah, definitely.
See,
I did not know that. I did not know that.
until a few months back, I didn't know it either. Like I knew the name, but I didn't know he was Stephen's son.
I didn't know that either. I did not know that either.
Muriel wants to know who was your favorite character in the Average Joe series and why.
That's a good question. I love all of the characters in Average Joe. To be completely honest, I love all of them because they all stem from real people in my life, believe it or not. But my favorite character is actually Max because Max is me. He may not look exactly like me, but we both got the glasses, and Max is me. I think it's just a story of just his story of just like lifting the veil and realizing, everything that I believe was great is actually not as great as I thought it was. And that's something that I experienced in life, and I kind of translated it into the story too. So Max is my favorite character, Average Joe.
The Average Joe is the star of the story. It's you. if you could put on a hood and run around with quick blocks,
I would definitely be with it if I could.
You'd definitely be down for that.
Yeah.
Now you said you were in the service?
Yes.
What branch?
I was in the Army, United States Army.
Oh, well, thank you for your service.
Appreciate you, man. I was in the 10th Mountain Division. Shout out to any of my friends that might be watching right now, my battle buddies. What's up? What up? You see me? Yeah, but I was in the 10th Mountain Division. I served one tour in Afghanistan in the Tengi Valley. Lived with some great guys, man. There's just a bond in that environment. Like those are some of the last people that you could possibly know, and it was a great experience. I clocked out when I had the chance to clock out because I got lucky a bunch of times, and yeah, man. But all the guys I met, man, total respect for them guys. Love them to death.
Yeah, I wasn't able to serve, but too many medical issues. So,
got you.
But everybody else in my family did. My dad was in the Marine Corps.
Dope, respect.
I had one uncle in the Air Force, one in the Navy, and I've got many cousins that are that have done Coast Guard service.
Nice, dope.
Buddy of mine that grew up across the street from me when I was a kid. He just retired a couple of years ago from Coast Guard service.
Dope.
So I always have respect. I get myself up out of my wheelchair and I stand for the flag every time.
Right, man. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I respect all of those branches, man. Some of them, I wanted to go into the Air Force after the Army. Actually not even after. While I was in, I was like, man, why didn't I choose the Air Force? Like, I kind of wanted to do that because they live pretty good, to say the least. Air Force lives pretty good. Not like grunts, infantry grunts, like I was living. They live pretty nice.
Now, out of your military experience, does any of that come across in this book?
Some of it. Well, I don't want to give away too much of the story, but the loss of a brother is something that's symbolic in the story that translates over into my military experience. Because while we over there, we did lose some people, so I connected that connected deeply. So yeah, it does connect. It does connect.
So there's plenty of your life experiences that translate over into this book.
Yeah, a lot of the emotional stuff, I got it out of myself. I dealt with a little bit of a depression. I wrote myself out of depression, and yeah, man, I use the medium to help myself and get myself back on track. So,
oh, definitely. Now, we want to jump back over and take a look at the Kickstarter. We looked at the video at the beginning.
Okay.
But we want to check some of this out now because
dope.
So we got some stretch goals. We got a couple unlocked already. The average Joe,
Tanra from Heavy Metal.
Joe and Tan. Yeah, I go, is that her? Because that looks like her.
Yeah, that's Jason. That's Jason Hare's spin on her.
Looks good.
Thank you.
So you get that print unlocked for the backers. Digital comic page featuring Blue Marble and General Justice.
Yeah, we had a little fun with that one. It's a single page, but it's a message in there, a positive message that I like to spin. So that's pretty cool.
Cool. And the next one to be unlocked is the 11x14 Ravage the Savage print.
Yes, sir. That's the main antagonist from Average Joe, number 1 and 2. And yeah, I mean he's a fan favorite so far. Everybody likes the bad guy, man. Yeah, he's that's the next print. So I decided to make him the next one that we ship out to people for sure.
Yeah. It looks like a really dope 11x14 print for all the physical backers.
Yeah, man. Definitely try to look out.
That's a nice print. And I see up here that you have had 15 successful Kickstarters.
Oh no. Nah. I wish that. Thank you for speaking that to existence. I think I backed about 15, but I only created one.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'll hopefully get to that point. Thank you for saying that, though. I appreciate it. I'll take that.
Roll that back. In about 5 years, he'll have 15 completed Kickstarter.
Yeah, man, definitely.
And here's some of the covers.
Yeah, man, that's Tien the Uncaged from Vietnam, man. This dude is amazing. I killed his right hand, his drawing hand, to get these done. He painted these covers, so they came out amazing.
Well, yeah, they're just like I got no words for them.
Yeah, I wanted to because we actually
they're freaking good.
We thought about it at first. We said, we want to come up with not just a book, but we want something that people want to take as a work of art as a whole. So it's like, man, that book was good, but I really want to keep it because this cover is so dope. I want to just like keep that right there and save it and cherish it because we put a lot of time. We put a lot of time into it.
Oh yeah, the covers look great now. This is the on the right is going to be the cover for issue 2, right?
Yes.
Okay. And Average Joe is standing at the convenience store.
Yep. The most average place to stand, you know.
The most average place to stand.
Yeah.
Just hanging out with his red Glocks.
No big deal.
At the local bodega by his house, and
Yep. Yeah, man. Definitely wanted to give that feel of, you know, he's in a city. If anybody's from New York like I am from, then this might look very familiar. You know, this was taken from an actual New York bodega to make this, and he did amazing, man. Like he drew the bodega over and painted it.
yeah.
And
There's so much detail on that cover, though.
oh yeah,
I mean, really, you know, and you can tell it's painted, but it looks phenomenal.
The entire first issue is painted by him. That's why it took so long. It took us over a year to even get this thing done, because painting and digital coloring is just two different animals, and painting it triple, quadruple the time. But I know I wanted something very good and something of high quality, so I was willing to wait.
You know, it's definitely worth it. Like even up here with the ceiling lights from inside the bodega, you get the refraction in that, you know, 1950s old glass pane in the front.
Yeah. Definitely put a lot of work into that, man. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of him.
It looks great.
Yeah.
And this is some of the painted interiors.
Yep. There to go. Yeah, these were
He's having a bad day.
Yeah. Chose the wrong day to rob a supermarket.
He really got lit up, huh? Eyes and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a great look.
Thank you, appreciate it. Now these pages were done by a gentleman named Omi Relmonte. I brought him on because I was killing Tien. I was killing him literally. His carpal tunnel. I was like, all right, I'm gonna bring on somebody else to help us out. And Omi, he just bodied it, man. He just killed it. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all those guys, man, because without them, this would not even be happening at all. So.
And apparently, Jessica Rabbit's youngest sister is in the book.
Yeah, man. You know, a little eye candy. Or a little eye candy.
When I first scrolled down, I was like, damn.
Yeah. Thank you. That's exactly the reaction I was wanting to go for. So he nailed it. He nailed it on that.
It's like, it's Friday night and I'm feeling nice.
Yeah, man.
And here's the team.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to try not to butcher anybody's names. Mateus Zanetti?
I think, yeah. Matthias.
Matthias?
Yeah. Matthias. It's an accent on there, but I couldn't put it.
Me neither. Is the letterer. And then you have
Tien Uncaged.
Tien? Yep. Okay.
Yeah, he's the one. He's the cover artist and did all that work for sure.
See, I couldn't tell with the font that you used.
Mm-hmm.
I thought his last name was Lynn Cage.
Oh wow! You know what? When I look at it, it does look like that. His last name isn't even Uncaged. That's like his you know.
That's his stage name.
Yeah, that's a stage name, pretty much. Yeah. But that's good to know, man. I'll keep that in mind for the next time. Won't be using that font.
Yeah. So I tagged him in the original post. So I'll go back in and edit that. So
okay.
It's got the right thing, because he won't see this if he's, you know.
Right.
He goes, well, he said this is the one, but I don't know who this Lynn Cage guy is.
Yeah.
There's you and a couple of photos in the military.
Yeah. Me with a couple buddies that were there that I served with.
The reason why you're doing it. And the pie chart for where everything's going.
Yes, sir.
Your project timeline. Now you can get a digital PDF copy of Average Joe #1.
Mm-hmm.
Not as good as the real thing,
Nope.
but still appreciated.
Yep.
For $2. And the same with issue 2. $5 for a digital PDF copy of Average Joe 1 and 2, and your name added to the backer page.
Yes, sir.
Your name here. I like that. That's kind of funny. Physical copy of Average Joe #1, $10. And the same for #2. $19 for both books,
Mm-hmm.
which is a good deal. Physical copy of Average Joe 1 and 2, your name added to the thank you page, and a poster.
Yes, sir. You get that General Justice poster.
That's cool.
Yeah, that picture was done by a man named Joe Soliva. He drew that up for me, and he did amazing work. Colors by Jamerl Lessie. Like I said, those guys are great. So
Oh yeah, I know Joe's name, so I don't know, when I might have talked to him, or he's just been attached to like another project from a creator that I've talked to recently.
oh, okay.
$39 physical copy of Average Joe 1 and 2, name on the thank you page, poster, and an Average Joe T-shirt.
Yes, sir. That's for the diehard Average Joe fans who really want to get some nice drip added to their repertoire.
I'd say sign me up for that, but I know none of those T-shirts fit me.
Man, we'll make it fit, man. We'll get you whatever size you need.
Get one that'll cover your car, and that's about the right size.
Oh, come on. Now that might be a problem, but I don't think you need that size.
Well, a year and a half ago, I was 600 pounds.
Really? Whoa.
And I am now like 485.
Congrats, man. That's wow.
Yeah.
You brought that down, man.
Yeah, I miss ice cream.
Me too. I'm lactose intolerant. We in the same boat.
Yeah, I'm diabetic too. So like other things that I'm like, well, I can just eat this. No, you can't.
Me too.
Why?
Type
You
2
can't.
diabetes.
I'm like, oh, yep, same thing.
Yep. Cookies, bread. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
diabetic.
bread is my enemy.
Yeah, man. We got a lot of comment, man. We gonna be best friends by the time this is over.
We might be already. Who knows?
You never know, man.
I threw that line out there from that movie to somebody else because we kept like saying stuff back and forth. It was during the Off the Rails episode last week, and I just go, wait, did we just become best friends?
Step Brothers, yeah, good movie.
Yeah, it's hilarious. No Catalina wine mixer this year.
No, sir.
$100 package, digital and physical copies of 1 and 2, name added to the page, General Justice poster, Average Joe T-shirt, plus character design sketches.
Yeah, you get the sketches of the original characters. I mean, from beginning, like I see, from beginning, TN was doing his thing on this. I'm like, man, even the character designs look good. I'm gonna give these to people because I don't want any of it to go to waste. So The main cast, you get the character design for those guys.
You get the PDFs of the original designs.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. I see a lot of people doing that with their higher tiers, offering the breakdowns, so they can look at all the pages, just pencils, and then they go to the next thing and they get all the inks. Then they get the pages colored.
Right. Yeah.
Well, hello there. $300 tier, commission from Average Joe, cover and line artist.
T and Uncaged.
I keep wanting to say thin.
I say it a lot. He corrects me all the time.
Yeah.
He corrects me all the time about that.
So $300, and you can get a commission from this guy. And
yeah,
as you've seen, he does incredible work.
Yeah, and I think he only wanted to do 3, and I think 2 of them sold already because he's amazing, man.
Okay, so if you want a commission, you need to hurry up and hop on this because there's only enough room for one more person to get one.
Yeah, and I don't even think I could finagle him to do another one. He's like, I'm not drawing anymore for you. So 3 was the max.
So I guess this is his almost like Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn-esque rock and roll girl.
Mm-hmm. He did the digital color on that, and then that one on the bottom is a Poison Ivy one that he did that I thought was crazy.
Oh yeah. I can anybody from Batman, I can spot a mile away.
Big Batman fan. Okay.
Oh yeah. I grew up watching the reruns of Adam West Batman when I was 3 and 4 years old.
I actually remember looking at that too. I used to love that. The Adam West Batman. I mean, I was young as heck, but.
And the guitar almost looks like Prince's guitar.
It does. I know. I never noticed that. It does. Wow. Good eye.
It's a little different, but it looks enough like it. And I'm like, oh, she robbed Prince's house.
Probably so. Wouldn't put past Harley, man.
And this Poison Ivy is just incredible. And that's just the blue line.
Right.
Exactly.
So
imagine that finished.
Yeah. Yeah, he went in on that stuff, man.
Oh yeah.
These are the things that I saw when I was looking for the artist. And these are the first 2 things I saw. I'm like, no, who's this? Nah. You're gonna work on this. I'll wait. He had some commissions and stuff going. I was like, I'll wait, because you're gonna be the guy for this. And I chose the right guy.
Yeah, you can pledge $10 without a reward.
Mm-hmm. I think it says 10 by default, but you could pledge anything without a reward. I think it just puts that there.
This one on Graham Nolan's Kickstarter for the book he's doing now, the Chenoo.
Mm-hmm.
He changed this box around, so it said "Buy Graham a beer, $10."
I didn't know he could do that. That's
dope. Like 100 people bought him beers.
That's dope.
And then we just have all the boxes that you can click on to for all the tiers and rewards that we went through.
Mm-hmm. And there you have it.
And we'll go back up to the top real quick. Spin. This is what it's like trying to find my birth year when I'm signing on someplace. So you already made goal. 42 backers. There's still 23 days to go. There's plenty of time to get in on this project. You do not want to miss this. You definitely want to get in on this project. And there's some nice rewards already unlocked. And there's a bigger one to come unlocked. So what I'm going to do is we're going to bump. We're going to take this and we're going to pop that in the chat.
Okay.
It'll look funny on our side, but it'll look normal on the other side.
Oh, okay.
So there's the link for the Kickstarter, and we have another question. When designing the characters, did you provide the concepts and let the artist create them, or did you play a part in the design as well?
For the concepts, yeah, I sketched them myself horribly. But I did it good enough to get the idea, and really that was enough. I just took it and I gave that to Tien, and he just bodied it. Like he just went ridiculous with it. Like the way that you see General Justice look, I had the idea with all the stripes and stuff, but he added like the little stars and he just took it to another level, and that was just a good collaboration. But yeah, I definitely sketched out some stuff, and then they took it from there.
Then a real artist took over, and you kept
Yeah,
writing.
pretty much. Yeah. You know, I was gonna try to do it myself. I was gonna try to do the book myself. I was like, you know what? Because I was having trouble finding an artist. I was like, I'm just gonna draw it myself. One Punch Man looked horrible when they did it. I was like, I'm just gonna draw it myself. But then I came to my senses after it took me like 6 hours to draw like the first page, and I was like, you know what? I need a professional. I need a professional, and it still didn't come out good when I was drawing for that 6 hours. I was like, all right, let me get a professional.
Well, we're glad everything worked out because, I mean, he killed it.
Yeah, he definitely did his thing.
Even the other artists that you had come in and help with finishes and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're both like a couple of super talented guys, and his painting is like insane.
Yeah, they come highly recommended by me. I mean, TN ain't cheap, but you get what you pay for, and you work with that guy. He's gonna take anything to the next level. Omi as well.
Oh, definitely.
So
the link for the Kickstarter is in the chat now, so you can click on that and save it. Go over, scroll through it.
Yeah, click that, man. Show me some love, man.
Yeah,
click that, man.
Pledge away.
Man. Yeah, man.
We want to see more backers.
Yeah, man. We got 23 days left.
He's got 42 backers now. We'd like to see at least 8 people before the end of the show jump on there and top them off at 50 and keep going.
Let's get there, people.
Anybody else have any questions for Thomas? Just pop them right there in the chat. We'll put them up on the screen and get you some answers.
Ask me anything, man. I'm an open book. Ask me anything.
Okay.
Almost anything. Here we go.
Star Trek or Star Wars? Like I don't know the answer.
Star Wars. Come on. Star Wars for sure.
I love them both because I grew up watching the original Star Trek reruns on TV, and we had all the 8-inch Mego action figures with the cloth costumes and all that. And I still have a lot of those to this day. Yeah. I still have some of the heroes. I still have a Batmobile, a Batcycle,
nice,
an original Spider-Man, Superman, Green Arrow.
You got some antiques in your house, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I'm a friggin' antique.
Yeah, man. But you grew up in a unique time because like I missed that stuff. Like I missed it. Like by the time I got to see Star Trek, the golden time of Star Trek was already like, all right, past. And I'm looking at it like I don't know Captain Kirk, like who, like So, you're lucky. You're lucky to have lived through that and Star Wars to see it. I know that was amazing. Like to see that first Star Wars, A New Hope. I know that was like amazing. I seen it. I was like, man, this is an old movie. By the time I seen it 20 years later.
May 5th, 1977. This 7-year-old was sitting in the theater with his best friend and his mother. Watching that. Let's see. We got another question for you. In terms of power scaling, where does your average Joe universe sit in compared to MCU and DC?
Hmm. That's a great question. Um, well, we've yet to see General Justice's power in full effect. That's going to come in later issues because he's not the star of the show. But where they stand in terms of MCU and DC, um, put it like this: General Justice is on par with Superman. If they, that's where he is. He's the Superman of that world. The other characters, well, I haven't even gotten to any other characters yet, but like the main hero, protagonist, antagonist, whatever you want to call him, he's on scale with, he is the Superman of this world, this universe. If that answers that question.
And who would you compare Joe to?
uh hmm I would compare him to you and me because he's an average dude. He's an average dude who's just he had a tough run, and he started to take things into his own hands. And will he be successful at it? Will he survive in that superhero, supervillain world? Stay tuned for further issues.
Theodore wants to know, how many more Average Joe comics can we expect?
Well, you can at least expect 8 to 10 more for sure. I gotta finish the book. I don't know if it's the OCD in me or whatever. I gotta get to the end. I'm not gonna move on to the next thing till I get to the end and have that done. And then,
you want to finish the complete story arc.
yes, and then so at least 8 to 10.
And the top of the line pro answer would be as many as you all keep buying.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So a minimum of 10 issues, hopefully many more, because he's got a lot more story.
Yes, there's a lot more story, a lot more ways it can go. But also, I got other stuff that I want to do. I got other stuff that I want to show everybody. So, I put the benchmark at 10, but it can definitely go further than that.
Well, you never know. In another year or two, you might be working on like 2 or 3 projects at the same time.
Very true. Very true.
And Tyreek wants to know, will we be seeing any Hulk concept characters?
Hulk concept characters. That's funny. He would ask that question because I think that Tyreek is a big Hulk fan. And I'm pretty sure he loves my green mic foam right now because he's such a Hulk fan. Yes, there will be some Hulk concept characters. There is a Hulkish character. He's coming in issue number 3, actually 3 or 4. You'll see the Hulkish character. I won't give him his name up. I won't say anything. I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, there's a Hulkish character coming soon, issue 3 or 4.
And Theodore wants to ask a question that you can't really answer. Will the main character die?
I plead the 5th.
Not for at least 10 issues.
Yeah, he's gonna stay alive for 10 for sure, but I plead the 5th on that question.
Yeah, if the main character dies, you don't have a book left.
That's the end of the book. Yeah, that's the end of the book. But in comics, I'll say this: in comics, and this is important. Listen to me carefully. In comics, heroes die and come back all the time, and I'll leave it at that.
Superman, Wolverine. How many times has Wolverine died now? All of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Heroes die in comics and come back all the time, man.
And Marsha Henry wants to know, who was your biggest influence?
My biggest influence in creative, I guess in creating or writing or just in general. Well, I'll say that my biggest influence in creating is definitely the late great, because I grew up on late great Stan Lee, because I grew up on so much of his stuff coming up. So if I could have a MCU of my own, I would definitely be happy with that. But I will say he's one of my big creative influences. I write my Stan Lee method because I just thought it was genius to give the artist so much space and just like, this is what happens here, this is the dialogue, and you draw it out. And so I say Stan Lee is probably one of the biggest influences. The other influences that really affect me a lot are the other indie creators that I know, the Jamel Lessies, the Tony Moores, the Sal Piazzas, those guys that I know, they influence me because they keep me going. Their grind makes me feel like, you know what? I see these dudes hustling, especially Tony Moore. I see these dudes hustling every day. I'm like, no, I'm hustling too. If Tony's out here hustling, I'm hustling too. So, yeah.
Definitely. So we want to get people over to the Kickstarter. The link is right about the middle of the chat right now. We've had some great questions come through. If anybody else wants to ask any more questions. Now, one of the big things that I've been noticing on Kickstarters for a lot of tiers that they're putting in is that's been ramping up is actually somebody buying like a high-end tier and actually getting drawn into the book.
I've seen that.
Have you thought about doing that in a future issue?
Yeah, I keep it in the back of my mind. I always take I look at other people's Kickstarters and I'll take influences from that. I've seen that done a couple times. Yeah, for sure. It's funny that you mentioned that because for one of the commissions, right? Somebody requested that TN draw me doing this podcast and send it to him, like an average Joe-esque picture of me recording.
Podcasting, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay. That was an interesting one. Very interesting. But it's all love regardless.
They can put an original commission of the writer of the book talking at a podcast, and then they can hang up their average Joe books in front of it.
Right. So yeah, but I definitely consider putting people in the books later on.
Yeah, because I thought that was cool. Another one that I saw with some creators that that have teamed up with and like stateside that have teamed up together to work on books, and that they've actually got. You're just starting out now, but they've got like a small library of stuff they put together between themselves and other people that they've worked with. They've put together like an
anthology kind of thing.
Not an anthology. They put together a PDF sampling of books.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, okay.
And it's all indie stuff.
Right. So
anybody that's worked with them, if they've got their own book, they ask them for the PDF to put in the Kickstarter, and it's like a 20, an extra $20 tier, like a $20 like add-on to get
dope.
15 or 20 different indie books.
That's a good one.
As a sampling to introduce you to other creators.
That's actually really good. I like that. I like the idea of helping out everybody else too. That's dope.
So that could be something to think of doing, in a future Kickstarter.
Definitely, most definitely. That's really dope.
Yeah, because that you're networking with other creators, and you can get a PDF of your book on say in their digital Kickstarter package, and you can get one of theirs in yours, and
yeah,
just spreading the love.
Yeah, for real, man. Like if I mean, I know that there's rifts between creators, but honestly and truthfully, if every indie creator that I know that are in these groups and all over the internet, if everybody worked together and support each other, everybody would be successful. Completely honest, to be clear, everybody would be successful. But it's easier said than done. But I like the idea of just community and creators working together, man.
Yeah, and some sort of collaboration.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So we're looking at least 10 issues of Average Joe.
Yes.
Yes,
sir.
Now, the question I got to ask, because you said issue 2 isn't done yet. It's still being worked on, right?
Issue 3.
Oh, issue 3 is being worked on now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I misunderstood that from the Kickstarter video.
Oh, you know what? The Kickstarter video is actually, I kept the old video. Like, I didn't even have 2 done when I made the video, but I like. I'm no actor, right? So it took me like 700 takes to do the video, and I was like, I'm keeping this video because I just can't do it again, and I just left the video. But 2 wasn't done when I made that. 3,
Okay, so
yeah.
that's where the misunderstanding comes in. So issues 1 and 2 are done and ready right now.
Yep.
You can get them. You can get them digitally. You can get them physical. I recommend the physical because as good as these covers, especially the Bodega cover for issue 1 looks, and seeing the the a couple of the interior pages that you get to look at on the Kickstarter page, so it gives you like a little bit of a feel for the book.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing too. Letting people read like the first few pages of a book so they can see what it's about, and and it'll drive up the interest too.
Yeah, definitely. People could read the first actually 8 pages of number 1 on my website, so I got those up there for free. Yeah.
And the website is?
Oh, the website is www.vivpanel.com. VIV. Can I put it in the chat or no?
Yeah.
Is that not going? Okay, even better. Here we go. All right. Oh wait, that's private chat.
That's okay.
Wait, no, I can't do it.
I can. Watch.
Oh, okay.
Da, da, da.
Yes, sir.
I have power.
Yeah, so you can
wrong show.
Yeah, so you can you can read the first eight pages there.
There you go. There's the website. Go to the website, read the 8 pages, and then get over to the Kickstarter and back this project.
Yeah, do that for sure, man.
I'm refreshing the Kickstarter page. Come on, people, let's go.
I think a lot of people, it seems like these names is all familiar. A lot of these people, I think they backed already, to be completely honest. That's why, it's so much love from me to them, because you see they're here, they backed, it's
cool.
Couldn't ask for better.
We've had quite a few viewers on tonight.
Oh yeah, was it their biggest one yet? I wanted this to be the biggest one. Was it big?
Well, for that, I have to. I think the biggest one was the Off the Rails because I had so many creators on.
Okay.
So
I'm probably the biggest solo one. I'm gonna speak that into existence.
You're the biggest solo one today.
I'm the biggest solo one today. Thank you,
that?
everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Of all the creators I had on today, you were the best.
Dope.
Oh, it's not gonna tell me yet because we're still live.
Yeah. But, okay. No big deal.
Once we finish up and go off the air, I will definitely pop into the comment section of this video on the Outright Geekery Facebook page. If you haven't subscribed to Outright Geekery, you can go over to the Outright Geekery Facebook page.
Definitely do that. I'm part of it.
It's a free page. It's not a private page, but you can still click on the subscribe button up top and get notifications for when everything's going live, and you'll see all the latest news from toys to movies, TV, hilarious geeky memes. We had a Doctor Who one the other day that I was told by our social media manager that was shared out like 6,000 times.
Wow.
So
Memes are popular.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it only takes you like 2 seconds to look at it and get it. And then you're like, ooh, this is funny. And then it goes viral. So
yep.
We officially had a viral meme. So
nice. Yeah, that's
and the page is growing, and it looks like we're probably gonna hit over 20,000 members just on our Facebook page
Ooh.
by the end of the year.
That's nice.
We also have a really big following on Instagram and Twitter as well.
Dope. 20,000. That's a lot, man. You really grew that page.
It's been leaping and bounding, and this is the 22nd episode of this show. And I co-host another show, because I'm old, called "Okay, Boomer."
Is that term bother you? Does that term bother you? Because some people get bothered by that term.
Nope.
Good. That's good. I respect your maturity.
I wouldn't say I'm mature. I am.
I take that back.
I'm like one of the original Toys R Us kids. I never grew the hell up. My mother told me that, the whole time she was here on this planet. You're maturing a little bit, but you still need to grow up. When are you going to stop reading those comic books?
Never.
Nope, never. You can't take them with you. Oh, yeah? Watch. My comics and myself are going to get cremated at the very end. Yeah, throw it all in one big wooden box and just.
That's dedication.
Set sail.
That's dedication right there.
Definitely. So obviously, you want to thank everybody that has already backed and showed the love on this project already. Obviously.
Yep. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that, man. I honestly, I funded in the first day, and I thought it was going to take me the whole month because I had no idea what to expect. But
that's huge right there. Your first Kickstarter, you funded day one.
Yeah.
That is big.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. And like I tell everybody when I go live every day, like I appreciate everybody, all 42 people. Because without them, I wouldn't be getting my books made for sure. So thank you.
Definitely. Now, once all this crazy COVID stuff goes away, are you looking to do some convention stuff?
That was, that's what I wanted to do even prior to the Kickstarter. I have some, friends in the indie comics, but I really want to go out and just meet and talk and engage with people before I even did the Kickstarter and, get a better feel. But COVID happened. So, but after the fact, yeah, definitely. I'm in there. All of them.
Then somebody else brought it to my attention. Goes, you think 2020 is bad? Mad Max is set in 2021.
Oh man, please don't. Please don't.
You know what? If I could walk and still drive, I'm like, well, as bad as this year's been, as long as I get his Mustang from the beginning of that original movie,
that is a dope car.
I'd be good. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's a please no, but please no. Like 2021, please don't. I had enough. I want to get back outside and I want to go to conventions. I haven't even done any conventions. It's my first, my first drop, so I definitely want to experience that. So 2021.
I did the Big Con in Rhode Island the end of last year.
How was it?
It was huge. That's where I was hanging out with. I hung out and talked for close to an hour with Neil Adams.
Nice.
Childhood Batman hero of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up on Neil Adams and Jim Aparo, who is sadly no longer with us. But those two guys drew a lot of my childhood. And them and my teenage years were taken up with Marv Wolfman and George Perez on the new Teen Titans.
Did you get you get to meet them too, or?
Unfortunately not.
Oh.
I had tickets to go to Boston Comic-Con years ago, and the show got canceled because every cop in the Boston area was chasing down the bombers from Marathon.
Crazy. Crazy.
They so they canceled it, and George's wife made him spin around on his heels and get back on the plane and go back to Florida.
Yeah, rightfully so.
But there were a bunch of creators that stayed in town and helped promote the Boston Strong that was going on right after that.
That's
The
dope.
the movement and the fundraiser for everybody that was impacted at the marathon for that. And one of the guys that led the charge of comic creators staying in town and going to local comic book stores to meet the fans, meet and greet, and like sign for free was Kabuki and Daredevil artist David Mack.
Wow, he stayed.
He stayed, and he's like a super awesome dude.
Dope. That's dope.
I went up to in Somerville, Mass, comic shop up there called Kamikaze.
Kamikaze. That's funny.
They had Tim Seeley, who had just started his GI Joe run.
Dope.
He'd done an original Batman poster. So I bought the Batman poster off him. He signed it. He signed like one of my GI Joe things that I brought.
Batman fan right here. I knew he was gonna get that one.
Oh yeah. Mac was there, and I brought up like 3 or 4 of my favorite Daredevil covers that he did, and a couple of my favorite Kabuki covers that he did, because obviously it's his own series. Plus I bought some prints. So he signed everything for free, and then he signed like 3 or 4 Kabuki trades and just gave them to me, and a couple of extra prints and gave them to me.
That's dope.
And then there was somebody else next to him who I didn't get to meet, but it slips my mind who it was. But down the far end was Tim Sale.
Mm.
And I had brought up my Daredevil yellow, Spider-Man blue, and Hulk gray.
Got all those signed up. Nice.
He signed all of those, and he did a remark on my Hulk issue.
Really? Oh wow, that's what's up, man.
For nothing. I tried to give him something. I go, well, can I make a donation? He goes, go online and make a donation to Boston Strong. I go, did this morning. I'll go home and do it again tonight.
That's dope, man.
But and there were a lot of other artists that stayed and went around, and I thought that was great. I just watched the movie they made of that Patriot with Wahlberg.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
And I watched it, and the best part of it is Big Papi David Ortiz, unedited, saying, "This is our effing city. Don't you forget it." Boom, mic drop.
Wow.
So as terrible as that whole experience was, for this area, it was just super cool of some really big name comic creators.
Yeah.
And that was just the ones that went to that store. There were other stores between Rhode Island and New Hampshire that they all went to. So there were about 25 different artists that that came in for the convention and didn't turn around and get on a plane and leave. And they went to shops, and they wanted to thank the fans, because everybody that bought tickets, they all lost. We pretty much all lost our money. So
wouldn't you agree that's how you like really develop like lifelong fans? Or if people were fans of you, then they're definitely going to be lifelong fans if they see you at a convention and you just like hook them up and just down to earth. I hear that a lot about people meeting creators, and he's like, man, this dude is so cool, man. He's down to earth, man. I love this guy.
Well, there's so many of them that are charging for signatures now. And most of that is because there's a lot of scumbag people that will show up with a stack of comics in front of a guy that says he's signing for free. Wants all of them signed, and when he'll grab them, he'll run up to his hotel room, list them all on eBay,
That's crazy. Yeah.
and then come back with another stack. It's like, no.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. So
I
I'm
didn't even
like,
know people did that. That's
whenever I go to meet creators, I try to meet and get something signed by like at least I try to pick out like 3 people that I really want to meet
Mhm.
that I haven't met before. People that I've met before, I'll go by and shake hands and talk to them for a little bit if there's not a line at their table and keep going. But I'll bring like the most I've ever brought a creator to sign was like 3 books.
That's probably why they hook you up so much. They see that you're like legit, like
It's like,
sincere about it. Not
and,
coming with 100 comics like sign these so I could throw these up on the net.
and if you're willing to have them personalize it to you, they know you're not gonna take it and go sell it on eBay.
Yeah, I'm sure these guys, they do it so much that they know, like you walk up to them, they know like if you're gonna like, all right, you're gonna go sell these on eBay, and they'll know if like, nah, this guy's like sincere, he's gonna keep this, he's gonna cherish this.
Especially somebody's got like a little red wagon pull cart
pulling up a Mack truck full of books from the sun.
Unless they're using that because they're going around and buying so much stuff,
right?
That they have that, but otherwise it can get crazy. Now, I don't know how the conventions are going to be when they do come around again, because obviously with everything that's happening, there's going to be a whole bunch of like crazy new rules and regulations going on. There's no
ain't gonna
more,
be some
there's going to be no more shaking hands. There's going to be no more getting your picture taken.
Sanitizer everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah. I would wish that my con experience wouldn't be like that, but I think when they do come back, it's gonna be very similar to that. And I mean, it is what it is, man. It's almost like the world that we live in for now. Hopefully, not forever, but
yeah. My opinion on it is that I think we're gonna see the disappearance of most of these big conventions.
Hope not.
Well, because the big conventions are big because they get like 100,000 people in there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, with all these new rules and regulations, they're not going to allow you 100,000 people.
No. I mean, there's ways around it, right? They could be like, all right, we only letting a certain amount of people in at a time. Like, between these hours and that hour. I mean, it's gonna suck, but I think there's ways around it. It's just they'll have to extend it and just really regulate how many people come in, which is, I mean, might work, might not.
I think we'll see a lot more of like the old time comic conventions where you get like a couple of local creators,
Mm-hmm.
And a couple, a small handful of like local cosplayers maybe, and then just comic book dealers, toy dealers, like VFW, big VFW style hall kind of thing. People go in and they'll go in, they'll buy, old time comic book shows were all designed around comic books.
Right.
Not around Hollywood celebrities charging you, $100 to $700 for 30 seconds of their time to get a picture taken with them.
Right. That's crazy.
I think it's cool to be able to meet, some of the celebrities, but I am also not down with giving a millionaire my hard-earned money when I would rather give it to the creators that made their jobs possible.
Yeah, I respect that. The creators taking a back seat for sure, man. The actors are they're definitely in the forefront, man. I mean, look at like Robert
Mhm.
Downey Jr. And those guys, Chris Evans, like those guys are like people would die to meet them right about now, because
Oh, yeah, well, Chris, I think Chris Evans and who's Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth, yeah,
They get like $500 to $700 for like an autograph.
jeez,
But I don't think any of the big names are going to be allowed to go to any of these shows
probably
because
not, right?
the insurance companies that cover their contracts aren't going to allow them to go someplace where they're going to be crowded around by the little people, and you know, and it's like there's going to be a bunch of people that hang out at Walmart there. You can't go, and it'll kind of like go from there. But yeah, I think we might be seeing the end of the conventions that are like loaded up with Hollywood celebrities, and back down to like mid grade, maybe some mid grade celebrities, and the vehicles from shows and movies, and comic some comic book creators.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think it'll ever be the same. And I don't think that I personally don't feel like digital itself is as good as an experience. Like they do digital cons. Didn't they do a digital con? Like a couple digital cons.
Lots of them.
I don't know if that's the same, man.
Yeah, San Diego did one, but I felt it was a blunder.
It's not. It's not the same effect, man. Like I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's not. They didn't put any work into it.
Mm,
They did everything last minute, and it was basically they threw something together at the last minute just to make everybody that was supposed to be at San Diego feel like we threw you a bone. Here you go. And I'm like, no. Outright Geekery is actually a sponsor of one called Comic Online.
mm-hmm,
So comic and then CONLINE.
mm-hmm.
And they put a lot of work into it. I interviewed two of the main guys that were like at the forefront. There's a bunch of people that work like, behind the scenes for them. So they had like, a big team working on everything. But Corey and Greg actually worked for Art Germ Collectibles.
Mm.
So they, on a regular basis, used to fly all over the world working for Stanley. And made hundreds of connections of big name, comic book artists in the meantime. And they put together a big 4-day show.
Wow.
I mean, Art Germ, they had a different headliner like every night. So like somebody would close out the show. And they made it so they had a limited amount of things they would do, like either signings, very limited sketches and remarks. Some of the artists weren't doing them at all.
Mm-hmm.
Others were doing like, original sketches and selling them. But they had Stanley Art Germ, Derek Chu, John Romita Jr., and those are just like the top three names that I can remember, because I'm getting old.
Yeah, people get kind of upset, man, when they find out like an artist is not gonna sign something, and like they're not doing any signatures or remarks. Like some people I see people get real upset. Like, oh, this guy's not signing. This guy's not doing any.
This guy's not doing remarks. Well,
Yeah.
look at the bright side. You just saved $125.
Yeah, man.
But I wanted to give him my money. Well, give it to me. give it to me and give me a Sharpie.
Right.
I can, draw, I don't know, Paddington Bear on it or something.
I don't know if people is going for Paddington Bears commissions right now, but you never know, man.
The closest I get is like, making it would look like a drunk guy drawing Mickey Mouse is basically what it comes down to.
Yeah, man. I'm no line artist
If I wrote a
myself,
book,
man.
I would have to get an artist too. I couldn't even begin to draw a design. I just have to describe them.
Yeah. It's a I give props to artists, man, because it's a daily working on your craft kind of deal. Like there's no shortcuts to art. Like you can't like, all right, figure out a way. There's no shortcuts. Either you know and you put in the time, or you don't and you just suck. So there's either one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
a lot of the great artists I know feel like they're bad. Like Tien, he doesn't feel like he's good. Like a lot of the great artists I know, they don't feel like they're good. I'm like,
yeah, they're artists are like women.
that's a good analogy. Yeah, that's
never
great.
happy.
Yeah,
Ever.
Like he's
they always want to go back and do something different.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a never ending progression in art. I think, and that's why it's like this. It never ends. There's always a bar, and you can always get better and better and better. So. Mm-hmm. But sometimes, like this certain artists, I'm like, this is dope. They're like, nah, man, it's okay. I'm like, what? Like, are you crazy? So,
that's when you say, well, if it's just okay, you just want to, I'll go throw it in the garbage for you.
Yeah, let me hold on to that. For a little while.
I'll hold on to that, and I'll get rid of it for you later on.
Right.
But we want to thank you for spending all this time with us. We want to thank everybody who jumped in on a live chat with comments and questions.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, thanks for showing up too.
Oh, definitely. Definitely hit that link for the Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm. Do that, please.
Please head over to the Kickstarter. Check it out. You can watch the video that's still up there from the first issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still up there.
And it's still good for this issue.
Yep.
You can get the first 2 issues of this book. There's lots of different tiers. There is only one tier left to get a commission done.
Get it while it's hot.
By the book artist. There's only one left. He offered up 3.
Yep.
You want to get that done before his arm falls off because he worked his ass off on this book.
Yeah,
literally. Man.
Yeah.
And right down the bottom of the chat is Thomas's webpage. You can go to vivpanel.com and you can read the first 8 pages of the book.
For free.
For free, yeah. I'm gonna click on the link now because I like free.
I love free.
Oh yeah, definitely. One of the best things anybody can do on any kind of Kickstarter, Indiegogo, is to let people read like the first 5 to 8 pages of a book. See if they like it. If it's something that they really like, whether it's the story, whether it's the art, or a combination of the two. Usually, it's a combination of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a great balance. So, definitely head over.
People like to know.
Yeah, head over to the website, read those pages, and then go right over to the Kickstarter and get that number up there. If you're somebody that has already backed the project, share the Kickstarter out on your social media and tell them how great this book is and what a great project it is. And you can even share out this video.
Definitely share the video.
Share out this video.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to have this be his biggest video ever. That way I can look and be like, listen, William, what's up, man? I came through with my people, man.
And you can even get an Average Joe t-shirt.
Oh my goodness, Average Joe tees. And they're not no FUBAR tees. Like these is actually kind of quality, put in a little change. Yeah, man.
Because used to be nerdy and geeky wearing comic book tees, and now that's all you see. That's all you see people wearing.
It's definitely the wave. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And So head on over, hit the Kickstarter, hit the website, like, share, subscribe, and we will see you all next time. Thomas, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, man. Thanks
Good-
again. Thanks for
Good
having me.
luck. I'm glad your Kickstarter went and hit those numbers on the first day. That's wonderful. But we want to
Appreciate it.
get
Thank
more
you.
numbers. We want to get more numbers up there, and we want to get that bomb ass poster done because
Yeah, man. Uh-huh.
you get a nice big 11 by 14 print of the villain.
Yeah, man. Ravage. A lot of people love Ravage, man. You know, check out the book. You'll see a little bit about him. Well, you won't even see him. But you know, if you get the book, you'll see Ravage. You know.
Yeah, definitely. But we want to thank everybody for joining us. Until next time, this is Will for Outright Geekery, and